Welcome to SAT Prep Thursday. Today we're doing College Board SAT Practice Test number 8, Part 4, numbers 1 through 19. This is a calculator approved section, so I will be using either a TI-30XS or a TI-30XA. Also, there's a file link in the description for this practice test. 1 pound of grapes costs $2. At this rate, how many dollars will C pounds of grapes cost? Well, it is asking about C pounds, and it's $2 per, so 2 times C, which means that A is the answer. Tracy collects, sells, and trades figurines, and she tracks the number of figurines in her collection on the graph below. On what interval did the number of figurines decrease the fastest? So we're just simply looking for that harshest downslope, which goes from 3 to 4, which means that C is the answer. In a random sample of 200 cars of a particular model, 3 have a manufacturing defect. At this rate, how many of the 10,000 cars of the same model will have manufacturing defects? Well, we're looking at 3 out of 200, which means 0.015. This is how many out of the 10,000. So if we just simply multiply 10,000 times 0.015, we're going to get 150. A is the answer. The scatter plot above shows data collected on the length and width of the Iris setosa petals. A line of best fit for the data is also shown. Based on the line of best fit, if the width of the Iris setosa petal is 19 millimeters, what is the predicted length in millimeters of that petal? Well, they gave us this equation, y is equal to 1.67x, and in this case, x is 19 plus 21.1. So we're going to come up with 52.83 after using our calculator, meaning C is the answer. Notice that this figure is not drawn to scale. In the figure above, L and M are parallel. Y is equal to 20 and Z is equal to 60. What is the value of X? So I put in those triangles to show myself that those are parallel. What it does mean that Y is the same angle here. So we have X plus Y plus Z would be equal to 180 degrees. It did say that Z was equal to 60 and that Y was equal to 20. So I can say 180 minus 20 minus 60 is 100. B is the answer. 2 types of tickets were sold for a concert held at an amphitheater. Tickets to sit on the bench during the concert cost $75 each, and tickets to sit on the lawn during the concert cost $40 each. Organizers of the concert announced that 350 tickets can be sold and that $19,250 had been raised through ticket sales alone. Which of the following systems of equations could be used to find the number of tickets for bench seats, B, and the number of tickets for lawn seats, L, that were sold for the concert? We know that 350 tickets were sold in total. That means I have B plus L must be equal to 350. This allows me to just eliminate C as a possibility for an answer. We also know that the total amount of money earned was $19,250. So if it did not have the top equation being equal to $19,250, it can't be an answer. Now, bench seats cost $75 each, which means 75 times B, plus $40 for lawn seats, or 40L. So I'm looking for 75B plus 40L, which means that I go ahead and eliminate B, leaving D as the answer. In the XY plane, the graph of which of the following equations is aligned with a slope of 3? Let's keep in mind, this is y is mx plus b, and we're looking at the number in front of x. So not it, not it, not it, must be C. In the equation above, which of the following is a possible solution of x plus 1? So if we multiply both sides of the equation by x plus 1, I would get x plus 1 squared is equal to 2. Now, if I take the square root of both sides of the equation, then I would wind up with x plus 1 is equal to the square root of 2. X plus 1 is what they were asking for, so the square root of 2 is the answer. For questions 9 through 11, we're going to refer to the following information. The glass pictured above can hold a maximum volume of 473 cubic centimeters, which is approximately 16 fluid ounces. What is the value of K in centimeters? Now we know that the volume is equal to 7 pi K cubed over 48. We also know that the volume is 473. So 473 times 48 divided by 7 pi would give us K cubed. So let's get rid of that cubed and ask what is the cube root of all of these numbers. Luckily, we get to use the calculator here, so K is 10.11, which means D is the answer. Water poured into a glass slowly at a constant rate. Which of the following graphs best illustrates the height of the water level in the glass as it fills? The height would go up at a very constant rate if the glass was straight up at its sides. But we can see that it's not. We can see that it opens up as it moves up. What this means for us is in the beginning, the water level is going to seem to rise quickly. But as we get to the top, the water level is going to rise slowly as it has more area to fill up, or volume to fill up. So it would begin moving up quickly and then it would taper off in its speed, giving us C is the answer. Jenny has a pitcher that contains 1 gallon of water. How many times could Jenny fill the glass with 1 gallon of water? Let's remember 1 gallon is equal to 128 fluid ounces. Now the glass that we're talking about, remember, has 16 ounces in it. So if we had 1 gallon, that would be 128 ounces, divided by the 16 ounces that glass holds, which means 8 is our answer. Roberto is an insurance agent who sells 2 types of policies, a $50,000 policy and a $100,000 policy. Last month, his goal was to sell at least 57 insurance policies. While he did not meet his goal, the total value of the policies he sold was over $3 million. Which of the following systems of inequalities describes X, the possible number of $50,000 policies, and Y, the possible number of $100,000 policies that Roberto sold last month? So we know that he missed his goal. So X plus Y was less than 57. So if it doesn't have a less than 57, we can eliminate that from the choices. Now, we also know that what he sold was over $3 million, so it has to be greater than $3 million, which is what we have here, meaning C is the answer. If a to the negative 1/2 is equal to x, where a is greater than 0, what is a in terms of x? So this negative right here means that I can say 1 over a to the 1/2 power is equal to x. Now, if I could get rid of that 1/2 by simply squaring both sides, I would have 1 over a is equal to x squared. But we're trying to get a all by itself, which means that a is equal to 1 over x squared. C is the answer. Which of the following is the value of x for which the expression negative 3 over x squared plus 3x minus 10 is undefined? So let's factor this bottom, and what we're going to wind up with is x plus 5 times x minus 2. So we wind up with negative 5 here and 2 here. We cannot have these answers because it would give us a 0 in the denominator, so D is the answer. A granite block is in the shape of a right rectangular prism, has dimensions 30 centimeters by 40 centimeters by 50 centimeters. The block has a density of 2.8 grams per cubic centimeter. What is the mass of the block in grams? Now, density is a mass per unit volume. So I'm looking at some kind of block that is 30 by 40 by 50. Length times width times height, which would give me 30 times 40 times 50. Now I want the weight, so I'm going to multiply all of this by the number of grams per, which is 2.8. This is going to give me 168,000. So D is the answer. The table shows the results of a research study that investigated the therapeutic value of vitamin C in preventing colds. A random sample of 300 adults received either a vitamin C pill or a sugar pill each day during the 2-week period, and the adults reported whether they contracted a cold during that time period. What proportion of adults who received a sugar pill reported contracting a cold? So let's look at they got a cold sugar pill. There's 33. And there was 150 that got sugar pills in total. This means that I'm looking at 33 over 150, which simplifies to 11 over 50, giving us B is the answer. The table above shows the distribution of ages of 20 students enrolled in a college class. Which of the following gives the correct order of the mean, median, and mode of the ages? So we get to turn around and say the most frequently occurring, the mode was 18. So first part is done nice and easy. Let's find the median. The lowest has 6, so we're going to now go count off 6. That gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 occurs here. Now I have 3 remaining. So if I went 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, I wind up with 19 as the median. And the mean means I'm going to have to take 18 times 6 to get 108, and 19 times 5 to get 95, 20 times 4 to get 80, a 42, 22, 33, and 20. If I add all of them up, I am going to get 400. And out of the number that occurred entirely, there were 20. So 400 divided by 20 gave me 20 as a mean. That means I go mode, median, mean. Mode, median, mean. A is the answer. The figure shows the relationship between the percent of leaf litter mass remaining after decomposing for 3 years and the mean annual temperature in degrees Celsius in 18 forests in Canada. A line of best fit is also shown. A particular forest in Canada, whose data is not included in the figure, had a mean annual temperature of -2 degrees Celsius. Based on the line of best fit, which of the following closest to the predicted percent of leaf litter mass remaining in that particular forest after decomposing for 3 years? So we're looking for -2 degrees Celsius, which would probably be right about here. And if I just brought a line up and then went over and looked, I would find 70%, meaning C is the answer. The range of the polynomial function f is the set of real numbers less than or equal to 4. If the zeros of f are -3 and 1, which of the following could be the graph of y is equal to f of x in the xy plane? So we're going to start with this idea of the zeros are -3 and 1. We see that we do have a -3 and 1 that occurs in A. B is not occurring at -3 and 1, so it is eliminated. C has zeros of -3 and 1, so it's not going to be a problem. And D has 3 zeros, so it cannot be the answer. It also says that it must be less than or equal to 4. So we're looking at the highest y value being 4, which does occur on A. So I'm assuming A is the answer. C, it occurs at -4, which means it is not the answer.